Hi guys. Really sorry for being gone so much. We're starting a new chapter today, and this is the second half of chapter 8. So we started chapter 8 with a lot of graphing, right? Vertex form, standard form, how do you graph those things? And then the last thing we did in chapter 8a was find the solutions. We're going to be doing more of finding solutions, but we're doing it with different methods. So last chapter we did it by graphing. This chapter we're going to do several other ways to find solutions to a quadratic. Remember, those are the roots or the zeros or the x-intercepts. We kind of focused more on those two words. So we're going to be looking for essentially the x-intercepts, but not in graphic form anymore. Now we're going to be factoring instead. So we get to do some more star method again. So that's what this 4-step process is going to kind of talk you through. First of all, in order to solve a quadratic by factoring, it has to equal 0. So like in this first one, it's a y right now. We're going to say if this was a 0, how would we solve? And then we're going to factor the left side. We're going to do our star method on the left side. Actually, let's just draw a star here just to remind ourselves what the star looked like. So the beautiful thing about this is it's review. You have seen it before. So let's see how we're doing here. That top thing. Actually, you know what? Take 30 seconds and see if you can fill in the star right now. All right, let's see how we did. So the top should have been a times c, right? In this ax squared plus bx plus c setup. So it's a times c up top. It's the b value on bottom, and then this is a, and these are the numbers that you're solving for. What could you multiply to get the a times c value that you could add to get your b value, okay? So then it says set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So once you have factored it, remember when we factor it, it ends up being 2 sets of parentheses, okay? Then we're going to take both those sets of parentheses and set them equal to 0 and then solve them both, and then we'll be done with it. It says write your answer in curly braces. I don't make you do that. If you want to do that, you're welcome to. Don't write your answer in parentheses though, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Given this first one, okay, we set it equal to 0. So we're just going to say it equals 0. We're going to set up our star. Okay, so for this one, your a value is a 1, your b value is a 3, your c value is a negative 10. So we're going a times c. So 1 times negative 10. That's going to be a negative 10 up top. And then your b value is a 3. That's going to go on bottom. So you are now asking yourself the question, what can I multiply to get a negative 10 that I could add to get a 3? And remember, this is where we would set up our t-chart if you want. So 1 times 10 is 10, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 doesn't work, 4 doesn't work, and now we're back to the 5. So these are your factors. You're trying to figure out which ones it is. So your a value, I didn't write the a value in, these should both be 1s. But what could you multiply to get a negative 10 that you could add to get 3 from these two lists? Did you say 5 and negative 2? Because that would be correct. So now from here, you're going to set up your parentheses. So that 1 over 5 is 1x plus 5, okay? And then the 1 and negative 2 is 1x minus 2. But notice the difference now. We started this whole thing by setting it equal to 0. So we're going to set that equal to 0. Okay, now here's the big concept. we want to know, what does x have to equal in order for this whole thing to equal 0? So if you think about it, this right here is implying multiplication, right? A parenthesis next to a parenthesis, you're multiplying. So basically I'm saying something times something has to equal 0, which means one of those somethings or both of those somethings has to equal 0. So all we do at this point is we take what we have, the one factor, and we set it equal to 0, and the other one, and we set it equal to 0, okay? Because one of those things has to equal 0 if the whole thing is going to equal 0. So you just set both your sets of parentheses equal to 0, and you solve them. Take away 5, so x equals -5, and then add 2 on this one, so x equals 2, okay? And those are your solutions. X equals -5, and x equals 2. Excuse me. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, the thing is, you have to first set the equations equal to 0. So, like, when you get down here, right, these chunk here are not equal to 0. So you have to make them equal 0 first. I'll show you how to do those in just a little bit, but that's the idea. Okay, so this one, you have this quadratic, okay? You're going to start with a star. So your A value is a 1, your B value is a 4, your C value is a 3. So if we're putting A times C up top, that's 1 times 3. Putting B on bottom, that's a 4. And then our A value is a 1. Okay, this should feel very familiar. We spent so much time doing star method. So now you're asking yourself the question, what can I multiply to get a 3 that I can add to get a 4? Just be careful. Some of you, when we did this last unit, would do like 4 in 1 here, because you're doing what can I multiply to get the bottom number that I can add to get the top number. This is always multiply. The bottom number is always add. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Excuse me. So here are your factors. X plus 3, x plus 1. Okay, and that is equal to 0. So now your job is figure out, well, what could x be for this to equal 0? Well, it either has to be that the x plus 3 is equal to 0, or the x plus 1 is equal to 0 for that to work. So we're just going to solve for x in both of those situations. So take away 3, x equals -3. Take away 1, x equals -1, and you're done. Okay. All right, let's jump down to number 4. Take a minute here. I'm going to draw the star. Take a minute to draw your star and see if you can drop in the numbers that we need. Okay, so the top, A times C, is 1 times -27. So that's a -27, A times C. Your B value is a 6, okay? And then your A value is your 1 that we're going to put there. So you're asking yourself the question, what can I multiply to get a -27 that I can add to get 6? Okay, so now you make your list. So what can you multiply to get 27? So if you start at 1, 27 divided by 1 is 27. 27 divided by 2 doesn't work. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 27 divided by 4 doesn't work. 27 divided by 5, divided by 6, divided by 7, divided by 8, none of those work. So these are your options. You're looking for what of those can you add to get a 6. So if you made the 3 negative, -3, +9, you'd get there. So now you're going to take those factors, x minus 3 times x plus 9. Remember, we put them next to each other because we're multiplying them. And the whole thing equals 0. So we just took this and turned it into the factors, but it still equals 0. And now your job is to solve for x. So we're going to say x minus 3 equals 0 and x plus 9 equals 0, because one of those things has to equal 0 if the whole thing is going to equal 0 when multiplied. So add 3. X equals 3. Subtract 9. X equals -9. When you check your answers on her answer keys, she's going to write it like this, 3 and -9. You're welcome to do that. Do not write it as parentheses. It's not the point 3. Oops, not -3. It's not the point 3, -9. Okay, you cannot write it like that. So if you're going to write it like this, you got to do your squiggly brackets. Sorry, those are terrible squiggly brackets. Excuse me. But I'm also totally fine with you writing your answers like this. Okay. Okay. Let's jump down to this guy. You're going to see something a little bit different here. So we set up our star. And here's your A value, your B value, your C value. So A times C, 1 times 16. B is a -8, and A is 1. So what can you multiply to get 16 that you can add to get a -8? Okay, so if you make your list, 16 divided by 1 is 16, 2 is 8, 3 doesn't work, 4 is 4. Okay. So multiplying to get a positive, but adding to get a negative means both of your numbers have to be negative. So think, which of these could I add where both are negative numbers that they would add to a -8? So that's going to be a -4 and a -4. Okay, well, look what happened. Those are the same. So this is x minus 4 times x minus 4 equals 0. Well, if I set those both equal to 0, it really is just x minus 4 equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0, which is the same problem. So when you add 4, then x just equals 4. You don't need to solve it twice. So there's just one solution here. Okay, so you won't get the 2 if your two binomials are identical. All right. Okay, let's do sorry, let's do number let's do this one. Let's do number 13. Okay. Does this look familiar to you? Hopefully it does. Notice there's no B term, and this is a perfect square, right? We can square root x squared, and this is a perfect square. Do you remember doing this? It's called the difference of squares. Okay, and with difference of squares, remember what we did? We factored it so that it was the two binomials, but one was a plus and one was a minus. Okay, and then we just square rooted both parts. So the square root of x squared, put x, and the square root of 64, put 8 and 8. So when you set this up, x plus 8 is equal to 0, and x minus 8 equals to 0. So when it's a difference of squares like this, you don't have to do your star. You can. If you do your star, then your b value is 0. Okay, and then you can still set it up and start. You get big numbers that way, so I don't recommend it. But we're just going to take away 8 here. So x equals -8. And we're going to add 8 here. So x equals positive 8. When your two answers are a positive and a negative, you're also allowed to write it like this, plus or minus, positive or negative 8. Okay, so you may write this as your answer, or you may write this as your answer. Okay. Okay, last thing. Let's do number 19 here. Okay. This one is different because it's not equal to 0 right now. All the other ones started equal to 0. So to make this equal 0, we have to subtract 7x. Well, the other x is right here. So put those together. Now this is equal to 0. So it's x squared. Negative 5x minus 7x is a negative 12x. And then minus 64 equals 0. Okay, so here's your new setup, and now you can do your star method. So what can you multiply to get a negative 64 that you can add to get a negative 12? Those are both ones. I don't have a calculator with me right now. How my mental math is. 64 divided by 1 is 64. 64 divided by 2 is 32. 64 divided by 3 goes in 1. 24 is 18. 4 goes in 1. 24 is 16. I did something wrong. Oh, yeah, sure. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Sorry. 5 doesn't work. 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work. 8 is 8. Get that guy out of there. Okay, so we are looking for the multiplication to be a negative, which means one of these is going to be negative, but the other one's going to be positive. Okay, because if you're going to multiply to get a negative, you can only have one of your two numbers be negative. But then this bottom number is negative, so that means the bigger of the two numbers will be the negative one. So what can we add where one of these is negative to get 12? That's going to be this guy. So it's going to be a negative 16 and a positive 4. Okay, so when you write your binomials, it's going to be x minus 16 and x plus 4 equals 0. And then you'll solve that. So x minus 16 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. All right, now when you solve these, we're going to add 16. So x equals 16, subtract 4. X equals negative 4. And those are your answers. Okay. So you're going to give that a go. 5A for homework. And hopefully I am back on Monday with you.